Okay, grade seven. So yes, so we'll just finish that off. So the second part. Now, there's not as much in this second lesson here, but yep, head up your paper, change the date on there. But yep, to be able to describe the various coastal defences which are used to manage the coast. So earlier on, we showed that picture of that house that was just about to fall into the sea. Now, if you were living in that house maybe 10 years ago and you'd seen that the coast was coming towards you and the way that you were running out of land before you ended up in the sea, what could you do about it? Now, there are different methods to try and defend that coast, okay? And we're going to look at it. Now, if there's only one house there, the chances are you're not going to bother putting in some coastal defences. But if there's a whole village or a whole town there, then the coastal defences will be put in. Now, when we talk about coastal defenses, there are two types. There's hard engineering, okay? So this is that idea, almost like you could build a massive wall, and this is where you go against the process of nature with methods that use large-scale construction work, okay? Then there are soft engineering. These are kind of work with the processes of nature, uses the natural methods. So, for example, maybe building trees so to keep the soil more compact and less likely to erode. And we're going to look at these different options now. Okay, but when you make these choices, you need to make this cost-benefit analysis. Okay, this idea of deciding which area to protect and which area to not protect. Okay, so we've got the groins. So make a note of these. You might have seen these in the Bahamas. So yeah, so this is to kind of stop that material being moved along the beach because you want to keep your beach where it is because one, it protects the coast. Secondly, you might be using it for tourism reasons, okay, for leisure reasons. So you don't want your beach to suddenly disappear. So what you would do is have these groins that kind of stop the material being moved further along. So yep, they're effective. They last a long time. They cost a lot though, and they kind of ruin the look of the beach. Unless you like the look of that. Personally, I don't. But it doesn't have that natural kind of appearance. Now, you might put it in a place where people don't. Maybe they do different types of water sports. So the people like where you see on the cursor in the background, they don't have one there, okay? But they create the action here so they can maintain that in other ways. Another one, maybe a sea wall, like we've got an example in this picture here. Very effective, lasts a long time. That is not going to erode, okay? But it costs a lot. It doesn't look very pretty, and what happens is actually then the waves get moved elsewhere, and so there's actually often there might be more erosion in other locations. Gabions is a bit like that, but it's just these kind of cages of rocks. Okay, they're cheap and easy to build. They break up the waves easily, but they might not last as long a time because yeah, they might break apart, get damaged, so then you'd have to repair them, and the production cost is high. Okay. Um, so then we've got this rock armor, riprap. Cheap and easy to build, but the actually getting the rocks to here, so like just dropping them is not so hard, but actually getting these types of rocks to the beach or to where it's needed is an expensive process, okay? And it can be quite hazardous because you can fall down those, break an ankle. You can also maybe slip while on them, okay? Revetments last a long time, break up the waves. Doesn't stop flooding so great though, because it'll just go over or go through and costs a lot. So that's just another example, the concrete one. Soft engineering, so the alternative approach, okay? So we've got dredging beach replenishment, where you actually shoot the sand back onto the beach, okay? So it's part of nature, the natural process. So instead of actually stopping the material moving away, being transported away, you can just take it from one place and move it back to where you want it. Kind of harms the natural ecosystem, really. But yeah, manage retreat. That would be an example of where you let one area just for nature to take its course and other areas to not. As I said, there might be afforestation, building trees, etc. So this week's non-assessed assignment, okay, so you can look through the documents here and you've got here got from here, then you can go through the notes. There's a lot of these notes in here that you can read through. Secondly, that's the review sheet. Yeah. So this will be your non-assessed assignment. If you can complete these 2 activities and upload them to Plus Portal for my review. Okay. Any questions, give me an email. Thank you very much.